Good morning. In my previous videos, I have given a number of emotions every person is experiencing in day to day life. There are more than 2000 emotions a person is experiencing in his life. It may be in the office, it may be at home, it may be at the public place, the road, bus stand, railway station, like that. But why this is happening? Because somebody may be triggering the emotion of other people. Somebody may be responsible for that, some provocation, some stimulation. That whenever some external stimulus is there, a triggering is taking place, a person gets immediately emotion. That emotion may be anger, anxiety, fear, sadness, frustration, depression, maybe happiness also, joy also. But somebody is triggering always. Therefore, this emotions takes place spontaneously, without the knowledge of the conscious mind, without the knowledge of the prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex is the thinking brain. But the emotion takes place immediately whenever somebody triggers the other person, for which the emotional brain is responsible. The emotional brain takes immediate action. That is what is called the reaction. The emotional brain takes immediate action. Therefore, the person may talk loudly. He may explode. He may go to the extent of killing the other person also. Sometimes if there is a frustration, depression, we have seen many people committing suicide also. These are all the reasons of the emotional brain taking immediate action. See, the triggering is very common. Somebody may be irritating you when you are presenting in your office, when you are making a presentation in your office. Somebody sitting in a corner may be laughing at you and criticizing you. It will irritate you. You may get anger. That is, some provocation is taking place. Somebody, when you are traveling, when you are going in the road, somebody cut you in the traffic. In the house also, sometimes your wife may be irritate you. You may be irritate your wife. You may irritate your father. You may irritate your brother, even your son or daughter. Suppose your daughter is telling you something, what happened in the school. When she is explaining again and again, you may get irritation. You may avoid her. Therefore, she will also run away because irritation. This is very common in our life. Why it is very common? Because the human beings are bundle of emotions. We have two brains, two parts of brain. One is the emotional brain, which is called amygdala. Another is the thinking brain, which is called prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex is developed by our studies. We study a lot of subjects: physics, maths, calculus, algorithm, mathematics. Like that, many subjects we are studying in the schools and colleges. Therefore, the prefrontal cortex is well developed. It is rewired. But the emotional brain is not developed. It is hardwired right from the birth. There is no school education. There is no curriculum in the school or colleges for develop the emotional brain, to make the emotional brain calm and quiet and cool. No. That is why even the highly qualified people working as a CEO, working in a higher post, general manager, like that, they get anger, they get irritation, they get depression also. The highly qualified people working in a very high post, I have seen they have committed suicide after getting continuous depression. They get annoyance. You have seen the doctors are getting irritated when you ask many questions. The teachers are getting irritation when you ask many questions. The irritation, annoyance, Sometimes this is what is called anxiousness, anxiety, fear, sadness. If the sad is there, it is continuous. Something happened long back, about 15 years before, the person may be thinking and feeling that. Sometimes worries. Worries are the future, all the imagination. The mother has sent her son by flight to New York, but she started worrying whether the flight will reach there safely or not. Unnecessary worries. After writing the examination, the boy is getting the worries whether he will pass the examination or not. Sometimes fear. Because of fear, many people are not appearing in the competitive examination. Many people not appearing in the NEET examination. The percentage is very less because of the fear. The fear is one of the emotions which is stopping you for further activities. If you fear, we cannot learn cycling. If you fear, you cannot learn swimming. If you fear, you cannot learn driving. But the courage is required. That is why Dr. Daniel Goleman, in his book Emotional Intelligence, which was released by him in the year 1995, has clearly stated there must be emotional regulation. There must be emotional control, emotional maintenance. That is very important. Every emotion should be properly controlled. It should be maintained. It should be regulated. Emotions are required. Emotions are not problem. It is only a signal. Emotions are energy. If you use it in a proper way, it will be useful. But regulation is important. How to regulate is very important. Now, I told you we have two parts of brain. The emotional decisions are taken by the emotional brain. That is what is called the reaction. If the decision is taken by what is called the prefrontal cortex, the thinking brain, that is what is called the response. For taking response, it takes some time, maybe 2 seconds. Therefore, emotional regulation requires pausing before taking a decision. Whenever there is a trigger, whenever there is a provocation or stimulation, whenever somebody is pressing your emotional button, you should not take immediate reaction. If a person is emotionally intelligent, he will wait, he will pause for a second. By the time the message will go to the thinking brain will take a logical decision, a reasonable decision. Emotional brain cannot take a logical decision. Emotional brain will always take emotional reaction. Therefore, the pausing is very important. That is how the emotion can be controlled. How to pause? There are some techniques. For pausing means giving some time. It is a space between a stimulation and the response. It is a space, a time between a provocation and the response, a trigger and the response. Therefore, the time is required. How to get it? The many research people have given, you have to do the breathing exercise. Breathing, only 5 seconds. Whenever there is a stimulation, whenever there is a trigger, you have to wait. Therefore, you have to do the breathing. Not only 5 seconds. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. For 5 seconds only, it may be 5 times or 10 times. By the time the message will go to your thinking brain, prefrontal cortex, which will take a logical decision. You will not explode. You will not shout. You will be very calm and quiet and take a right decision. That is why the pausing, capacity of pausing is very important. An emotionally intelligent person will develop the capacity of pausing. That is very important. That is, many people are developing that kind of practice. That is breathing. The second is counting. You count 10 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that you count 10. That few seconds you are getting. By the time the message, the provocation, the stimulation, the triggering will go to your thinking brain, prefrontal cortex. Prefrontal cortex will remain always silent and take a good decision. Sometimes remaining silent. The prefrontal cortex will decide. There is no need for response. There is no need for reaction. Remain silent. Somebody will criticize you. Remain silent. Because the criticism may be for your goodness, for improving. When you are making a presentation, there may be some criticism. It may be good for you. There is no need for react. There is no need for respond also. Therefore, this is a capacity. Remaining silent, remaining not reacting, remaining not responding even is a capacity one has to develop. If whenever necessary, we have to ask them, respond them. That is very important. Therefore, very important thing is, there may be many people creating depression for us. If the student failed in the examination, many people are coming and asking. A girl failed in the NEET examination, all the students are going and asking her, oh, you failed, I never expected. What is wrong? Those people who are not appearing the NEET examination or any competitive examination is asking the girl who appeared and failed. The failing is not a problem. It happens everything. It is a step for success. Whenever you fail, whenever a student fails in the NEET examination or any examination, there is no need for getting frustration. There is no need for getting depression. Because thousands and thousands of people are not even appearing for the examination. You are far, far, far better than them. They are not appearing. You are at least appearing. And fail 1 or 2 times. Failure is not a problem. Therefore, emotional regulation is very important. For emotional regulation, I told you, do the breathing exercise and also you do the counting. Now, the third very important is meditation and mindfulness exercise. Meditation is very important. When you do meditation for about 10 minutes or half an hour, your brains are cultivated. It learns how to remain calm. Your emotional brain is rewired. Previously it is hardwired. It can react only. But the emotional brain, slowly it will learn to remain calm. Therefore, meditation is required. That is why in the schools and colleges, many places, they are advising the students to go for meditation. Another is mindfulness exercise. If you have no time for meditation, you can do mindfulness exercise. Mindfulness practice or exercise can be done anytime. Even while traveling, while taking your breakfast, while doing your shaving or brushing your teeth. Anytime you can do the mindfulness exercise. Mindfulness exercise is remaining the present time without judgment. Don't think about the past. Don't think about the future. Think about the present. That is what is called mindfulness exercise. That you can do anytime. Even when you are talking with your waiting waiting for the bus, waiting at the lobby in the airport, you can do the mindfulness exercise. Even while talking, whenever the space is there, you can do it. While taking your food, you can do it. Mindfulness exercise is very important. Every person take this kind of exercise every day, maybe more than once, 4 or 5 times, whenever they get time, then their mind, emotional brain is cultivated. Therefore, the emotion will be controlled. That is how the emotions can be regulated. Emotion can be managed. Emotional management is very important. If you are not managing your emotions, if you are not regulating your emotions, you are the loser. Think about how many times you exploded and because of that you lost a relationship. Many relations you lost. Many promotions you missed. Many times you lost peace of mind. Many nights you could not sleep because you expressed your emotions. Therefore, emotional control is very important. That is what Dr. Daniel Goleman said. He said 5 components. The very important thing is emotional regulation. When a person comes to know his own emotions and feelings, his behaviors and thoughts, and also the emotions and feelings and behaviors and thoughts of other people, The next step is he should learn how to control his emotion, how to manage his emotions. That is very important. Whatever the qualification you are getting in the colleges, degrees, in very reputed colleges, and getting very big posts in very companies, that will useful only for 20%. But emotional control is very important. If you are not controlling your emotion and explode at your office, you will lose your name, you will lose your promotion, you will lose your relationship. Therefore, emotional control, emotional regulation is very important for every person for maintaining a deep, authentic and strong and long relationship with everyone, and also having a peace of mind all the time, and also getting a promotion regularly. Because thank you very much for watching so far. Thank you. Okay, good day. Okay, bye. Fine.